श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की 1344 ना। तत्र कीर्तयतो विप्रा विप्रर्षे भूरि तेजसः अहं चाद्यगमं तत्र निविष्टस्तद् अनुग्रहात् सो अहं श्रवष्यामि यथाधीतं यथामति। तत्र कीर्तयतो विप्रा विप्रर्षे भूरि तेजसः अहं चाद्यगमं तत्र निविष्टस्त अनुग्रहात् सो अहं वा श्रवष्यामि यथाधीतं यथामति तत्र कीर्तयतो विप्रा विप्रशे भूरि तेजसा अहं चाद्यगमं तत्र निविष्टस्तद अनुग्रहात् सोऽहं वः श्रवष्यामि यथाधीतं यथामति. Please recite. तत्र कीर्तयतो विप्रा विप्रशे भूरि तेजसा निविष्टस्तद अनुग्रहात् सोऽहं वः श्रवष्यामि यथाधीतं यथामति तत्र कीर्तयतो विप्रा विप्रा अहं चाद्यगमं तत्र निविष्टस्तद अनुग्रहात् सोऽहं वः श्रवष्यामि यथाधीतं यथामति. Word-to-word meaning, translation and purport by His Divine Grace is Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada की. गोपीनाथ मेरे से कृष्णा बुक लिखे हैं. तत्र there कीर्तयतः while reciting Vipra, O Brahmanas, Viprarishhe from the great Brahmanas Rishi, Bhuri greatly, Tejasaha powerful, Aham I, Cha also, Adhyagamam could understand, Tatra in that meeting, Nivishta being perfectly attentive, Tat anugrahat by his mercy, Sa that very thing, Aham I, Vaha unto you, Shavaishyami shall let you hear, Yathadhitam yathamati as far as my realization. Translation. O learned Brahmanas, when Sukadeva Goswami recited the Bhagavatam there in the presence of Emperor Parikshit, I heard him with rapt attention, and thus by his mercy I learned the Bhagavatam from the great and powerful sage. Now I shall try to make you hear the very same thing as I learned it from him and as I have realized it. Purport. One can certainly see directly the presence of Lord Shri Krishna in the pages of the Bhagavatam, if one has heard it from a self-realized great soul like Sukadeva Goswami. One cannot, however, learn the Bhagavatam from a bogus hired reciter, whose aim of life is to earn some money out of such recitation and employ the earning in the sex indulgence. No one can learn Srimad Bhagavatam who is associated with persons engaged in sex life. That is the secret of learning the Bhagavatam. Nor can one learn Bhagavatam from one who interprets the next text by his mundane scholarship. One has to learn the Bhagavatam from the representative of Sukadeva Goswami and no one else. If one at all wants to see Lord Sri Krishna in the pages, that is the process, and there is no alternative. Suta Goswami is a bona fide representative of Sukadeva Goswami because he wants to present the very same message which he received from the great learned Brahmanas. Sukadeva Goswami presented Bhagavatam as he heard it from the great father, as he heard it from his great father. And so also Suta Goswami is presenting the Bhagavatam as he heard it from Sukadeva Goswami. Simple hearing is not all. One must realize the text with proper attention. The word Nivishta means that Suta Goswami drank the juice of the Bhagavatam through his ears. That is the real process of receiving the Bhagavatam. One should hear with rapt attention from the real person, and then he can at once realize the presence of Lord Shri Krishna in every page. The secret of knowing the Bhagavatam is mentioned here. No one can give rapt attention who is not pure in mind. No one can be pure in mind who is not pure in action. No one can be pure in action who is not pure in eating, sleeping, fearing, and mating. But somehow or other, if someone hears with rapt attention from the right person at the very beginning, one can assuredly see Lord Shri Krishna in person in the pages of Srimad Bhagavatam, and thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport of the first canto, third chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled Krishna is the source of all incarnation. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnana Anjan Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vashadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. So very heavy verse. If last three lines were not there, then it was hopeless. Right? So this verse is corrective, instructive, suggestive, adoptive. The four things is there in the same verse. So this is now Suta Goswami is concluding third chapter, and up till now he was explaining different incarnation of Krishna, right? Now purposefully he has spoken this verse to explain everybody that whatever till now I have spoken to you, it is not self-made by me. I have heard it, and after hearing it, I am speaking to all of you now. And henceforth, what I am going to speak, as you have asked questions, That also will be spoken in the same line of parampara, and nothing will be manufactured by me. So, if you are ready to hear repetitive knowledge, then you can sit down. And else, if you want some new presentation, you can go somewhere else. Because many times, spiritual life, we also keep on searching for entertainment. And entertainment means something new, right? Like we can see when new cow comes, it's entertaining. The same cow starts staying for a few weeks and months, it's okay. New calf comes, it's entertaining. Now for a few days, everybody will be engaged. The new cow has started giving milk, it's entertaining, right? There's sufficient audience for it. After a few days, nobody is going to watch also that. So material world or material consciousness does not get fixed at one place. It always needs variety. And same kind of habit comes into the spiritual life as well. Here also we keep on looking for varieties. And that's the reason we will find this tendency in us that whenever we learn new slokas, and especially if the sloka is little complicated, or let's say sloka with 8 lines, we really feel enthralled and we love to recite those slokas, right? But with Hare Krishna Mahamantra, we start feeling little bored, right? Similarly for Bhagavatam, now whoever has stayed for 5 to 6 years in Krishna consciousness, whether we have personally read Srimad Bhagavatam or not, but more or less, each of us we know what is there in Srimad Bhagavatam, right? Which all characters are going to come in Srimad Bhagavatam, which all stories are going to come in Bhagavatam, and more or less what kind of instructions are also going to come in Bhagavatam. Last Sunday, somebody came to me and asked, Prabhuji, Bhagavad Gita chapters were going much better than Srimad Bhagavatam. I said, why? He said, यहाँ तो कोई जन्म लिया फिर भाग गया उसके पीछे कोई दौड़ रहा है ये सब डिस्कशन चल रहा है और फिर वही गुरु और ये सब का डिस्कशन. So when somebody does not understand the essence of a scripture, then you always keep on looking for the variety in the scripture. Those who are intelligent, for them something which should titillate their intelligence and thinking process. Then they think, oh, that's a wonderful Bhagavatam class. But we find many of the great souls of the present who is practicing Krishna consciousness. If you sit down in front of them, they start speaking very basics of Krishna consciousness. And quite often, repeatedly, I have spoken about that pastime of our first meeting with Bhakti Charu Swami Maharaj in the Pune Yatra. In the same very year when His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj encountered this stroke. So we had Pune Yatra and Bhakti Charu Maharaj was also there and His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj was also there. So in that particular day, when a leader who arranged for us, that time we were studying we had just passed out. I think I have started working with rest of the people were studying. So that special class was arranged. Because sannyasi is there, it means special class. So Maharaj started speaking with the second chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Dehino asmin yatha dehe kaumaram yauvanam jara tatha deham taram prapti dhiras tatra na mohyate. And very enthusiastically, lovingly, he started giving his discourse on difference of body and soul. So as Maharaj spoke for 5 to 6 minutes, the audience and the leader both felt impatient because audience was from IIT and leader was preacher of IITs. So both of them they started feeling impatient. And finally, leader seems to they have gone through the basic course. So he spoke in his ears, Maharaj answered mic, and Maharaj said that they might be from IIT and very intelligent people, and I hope they have completely understood the body and the soul. But I am a sadhaka, yet not understood it. So I'm trying to speak it so that I understand it. And then everybody came down to their ground. Right? So Krishna consciousness is not about learning new and newer things. It is not about learning variety of scripture. It is not about that something we quote and which others don't know. Then only we are called as expert speaker. Krishna consciousness is about learning the same thing again. Right? And that's the reason we find Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he simplified these things. He goes to Gadadhar Pandit and what they discuss? They discuss from the same Srimad Bhagavatam and especially the stories of Dhruva Maharaj and Prahlad Maharaj. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu meets Sanatan Goswami and the Rupa Goswami, from where he gives his Siksha is from Srimad Bhagavatam. Right? When he meets Haridas Thakur, what is discussed is Srimad Bhagavatam. So, Srimad Bhagavatam, as it is said that here, Tatra Kirtayanto Vipra. Kirtayanto. Not what do you say, Sanskrit mein speaking. Tatra Vadanti Vipra. He said Tatra Kirtayanto Vipra. They were relishing it. Kirtayanto means basically something which you relish, it comes out in a poetic way. That is Gana. So Kirtayanto means they were totally deeply absorbed in Krishna Katha, or they sat down there to discuss about Krishna Katha. Now here the discussion comes as a word called Vipra. And then next word is Vipra Share. So Vipra means it is the, what is called Vipra? There is a difference between Vipra, Brahmana, Vaishnava, right? Everybody, when he takes birth, then what is his qualification? He is a Shudra. Shudra means basically who does not understand. Shilaji Prabhu, you are feeling too sleepy. Get down. Get up. Because today the verse is only about this. At least today we should work hard. Right? What is the verse today? That is the number of the verse. What is the verse today? Eating, sleeping, eating. What is there? It is there in this verse. Or let us read the translation again. Come back. Sloka translation. What is the verse? What is the main aspect in the verse today? Let us decide. No problem. Like material world, we have a system of punah charvananam charvananam. Similarly, punah readinam. Right? Yesterday, for preparing this lecture, I tried to hear the lecture of Gaur Govinda Maharaj. And 45 minutes I heard. Maharaj did not move the head after one sentence. And he was every time he was saying, "So, Mr. David," I think some David was sitting there. So you do not have attention, right? Because your attention is in material things. Little attention you have got, doesn't you are sleeping in the class and still sitting, but you don't have attention. So I'm speaking in a very simple language. You know how Maharaj speaks. Hare Baba. How will you get attention? Yes, Mr. David. So the most underground principle for this verse is attention. What Sudha Goswami said? How did he learn Srimad Bhagavatam? Nivishta. Nivishta. Nivishta means he was there. He was not sitting. There's a difference between sitting and being there. So many of us we sit in Srimad Bhagavatam class, but we are not in Bhagavatam class. We are planning what we are going to do after Bhagavatam class, or we are planning, okay, मैंने ऐसा पढ़ना था. But actually, Bhagavatam has to be learned by rapt attention, right? So little bit preparation is required for sitting in Bhagavatam. And today's verse is very heavy. What is saying? O learned Brahmanas, when Sukadeva Goswami recited the Bhagavatam there, I heard him with rapt attention. Now, is a self-task, rapt attention, or is a task somebody else can perform for you? You have to do that. Right? Yes, we have to do that. Then he says, thus by his mercy. How the mercy of Srimad Bhagavatam comes? When attentively we try to hear Bhagavatam. And that's the example of that South Indian Brahmanas. How he was trying to read Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita. He was not learned, but he was attentive. And then Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu approached him to give him mercy. It's amazing part. That generally a beggar should go to the wealthy person to ask and beg. But here the donor is coming to give. What made him qualified is attention. Right? So we should pass year after year being inattentive. Because life does not have guarantee. Isn't it? Life does not have guarantee. Understand this. Whether naturally or whether artificially, both. Yesterday a case came to me whether somebody's father committed suicide. And the person belongs to us. Right? And suddenly, just sudden. So now you see, sometimes people keep on preparing for, at the time 50, 60, I will come, then I will practice Krishna consciousness. At that time, death came in the same very day. Right? So we should be, at least keep on working slowly for this particular aspect of relishing Krishna consciousness. And we cannot relish it unless until we are not attentive. Right? So by his mercy, I learned Bhagavatam from that great and powerful sage. Now I shall try to make you hear the very same thing as I learned it from him and as I have realized it. And purport Srila Prabhupada is very strong. So you can go back again read the purport later. We can feel sleepy, that's not a problem, but there should be an endeavor for not feeling sleepy. We should not surrender. Right? Like getting little diverted now. I had thought not to get into all this thing today. As morning we were studying Bhagavatam, how to receive a guest. Right? So what is the best method of receiving a guest? Give him asan, give him water, give him everything which he needs. Then what Prabhupada said further? Okay, if you do not have anything, at least give him water. If you don't have water also, then what you should do? Give him asan, kushagras. If you don't have that also, then what you should do? Heal the ground and make him sit there. Even if you don't have that, what you should do? With folded hand, speak and welcome him. Even if you can't do that, What else you should do? And then for pay obeisance and cry that I can't welcome you. So somehow or other you please welcome him. So same way, when you feel sleepy, go to the bed and sleep. Oh, I can't sleep like this, no problem. In Japa I will sleep. If I can't sleep in Japa, no problem. While chanting, I can get some chair and sleep. Everybody knows that soon I sit on chair, what I do? I sleep. But somehow or other, today when I saw somebody sleeping on a chair, I remember 2007. Because that time I was also sleeping. In Kunja Bihari temple. I was sleeping so badly that my counselor had to come out and wake me. Then, biggest irony, when he woke me up, I said, I'm chanting. Then, my counselor is different personality. So he spoke his language. He said, जो झापड़ में सब समझ में आएगा कि सो रहे थे कि जब कर रहे थे. So I remember, yes, I also surrendered to the sleep that time. Did not make any endeavor, and that continued for almost a year. Because in the mind there was always an excuse that I go for job. So I am getting less time to sleep. So we took it as a granted that japa means sleeping. Somehow Mangala Arati would go very enthusiastically because you can't sleep in while dancing. Soon you sit for japa and no endeavor for fighting at all. At least for 1.5 years I know I have done it. But the second part I tell you, the very day you start thinking that I should not do it, you will improve. You will surely improve. That is the guarantee part I get. So that also I saw in my own life. Then we really took it as a challenge that I have some time, later I can sleep. So when you convince the mind over a period of time, then the cycle becomes normal. Right? So bhakti कहीं से बारिश में मिलने नहीं जा रही है. अचानक से बहुत उत्साह निश्चय धैर्य सब आ गया, जंपिंग करने लग गए, एक्सटेसी में चले गए और बिल्कुल एकदम अब तो क्या तुरिया और क्या क्या स्टेज होता है वहां पहुंच गए. ये सब नहीं होने जा रहा है. डिवोशनल लाइफ नीड्स हार्ड एंडेवर, हार्ड लेबर. मेहनत करना पड़ेगा, नहीं मिलेगा कुछ. सो थोड़ा सा इस पे मेहनत करने की आवश्यकता है. गोइंग बैक टू द डिस्कशन. सो तत्र कीर्तयतो विप्र. कोई सोते हुए कीर्तन कर सकता है? नहीं कर सकता. कीर्तन चूंकि हम बहुत खुश होते हैं, जब खास करके जब हाई पिच ट्यून से आती है कैसे सब जंप करने लगते हैं, डांस करने लगते हैं. मतलब वी वर स्टार्टेड रिलिशिंग. So Bhagavatam also has to be relished. That's it what Sutta Goswami is saying, that the audience and the speaker, both of them were relishing their Bhagavatam. So I also went and started attending Srimad Bhagavatam. So who all were present? So he says Vipra and Vipriya Rishi Bhuri Tejasaha. 3 kind of people were present there. First were Vipra. So Vipra means by birth somebody is Shudra. Shudra means does not understand the normal social culture of living as well. That is called Shudra. And after Shudra, what happens? You have Dasha Karma Sanskar, the training. And from there, one goes to the purificatory process, then he becomes twice born, Dvija. Right? After Dvija, when somebody start learning the Vedic scriptures very seriously, then he becomes Vipra. It means the first category of student who were sitting in that discussion. This discussion, Sukadev Goswami Parikshit Maharaj case. So he says that first category of people were those who were already Dvija, plus they had started seriously understanding or seriously trying to understand Vedic scriptures, so they were there. Next were Vipra Rishi. It means basically Brahmanas. So Brahmana means somebody who has understood the essence of all the scripture. Brahma Janati iti Brahmanas. So they all were sitting there for the hearing. And the last was Guri Tejasaha. The person's presence was dispelling all the darkness. Who was that person? That was Sukhadev Goswami. So at last he spoke about his spiritual master. Now for a materialistic person, it is very tough to understand why to remember Guru every day. And that's the reason I quoted you that last Sunday somebody, said, Bahar bar Guru, Guru Sabd. But the foundation of a spiritual life is the spiritual master. There is no question of progressing in the spiritual life without a spiritual master. So Bhuri Tejasa. So Bhuri Tejasa because of two reasons. The first reason is that Sukadev Goswami was a learned, realized soul. Before that also there was one verse, I think in the first canto, first chapter, where it was written that he has digested this knowledge. Right? Remember first chapter, first canto it comes. Sonakadi Rishi, when he's saying that actually you have digested it. And that's the reason we have come here to learn from you. So knowledge is one section and realization is the another section. So here Sukadev Goswami has learned and digested and realized it. So his every word coming is removing the ignorance from the audience. That's the Tejasaha. And second, he himself is so pure that his personal presence is so illuminating that there cannot be any darkness in that presence. In the last week, if you remember, we were discussing about Kansas, right? That when Kansa saw Devaki pregnant with Krishna or Krishna's appearance, so illumination is so strong that for a time being, Kansa lost his demoniac mentality. And he started discussing within himself that who can kill this Vishnu? He is the most powerful personality. And then he started talking dharmic talk. That what will happen if I kill a lady? And my name, fame, all these things will go away. So illumination, purity, the presence of pure Sukadev Goswami was removing the darkness externally and also removing darkness internally from the heart of every individual. So the first thing he glorified is Tatra Kirtayato Vipra Vipra Bhuri Tejasa. A very beautiful prayer comes here in Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th canto, which is spoken by Devaki. He says the status of human being or jiva. What is the status? She says, Martayo Mrityu Vayal Bhita Palayam. Living entity just out of the fear of death is running away from one life to the another life. So when somebody takes birth, that time in ignorance he or she is happy. And others are also happy because of the hope. Why they are hopeful? We could not do. He will do something for me. मेरा नाम करेगा रोशन. जगत में उजियारा एक गाना था ना, तुझे सूरज कहूं या चंदा, तुझे क्या है, अच्छा सॉन्ग है, तुझे सूरज कहूं या चंदा, तुझे जो भी हो बंदा, whatever, he says, that, I don't know whether I should call you sun or I should call you moon. Why? Because अब इस दुनिया का डार्कनेस अगर कोई दूर कर सकता है वो कौन है? वो तुम. और बड़ा होने के बाद वो बंदा क्या है? ट्रैफिक पुलिस का बन जाता है. Right? So everybody is hopeful for the new birth. Right? You will generally see that when somebody takes birth, their parents, nearby people, everybody says इसका ललाट बहुत बड़ा है. He will be a very intelligent person. He will be earning a lot. Have you heard these things? For you also people have said, and for others also people say. But unfortunately, as soon as they grow 5, 6 year old, the same parents will start saying, কিছু হবে না কিছু করতে পারবে না तो क्या है ट्रेट्स दिखने लगता है उसका हाँ गोरू बोका all these are the new names you start getting and actually these are the actual names because by seeing you how you are developing people understand ज़्यादा कुछ नहीं होने वाला and when you come to 20, 30, 40 you also understand I'm guru अब इस दुनिया में मेरे से ज्यादा कुछ नहीं होगा तो अब क्या हुआ अगले जीवन की बात करनी शुरू कर दें बिकॉज यू आर फियरफुल ऑफ ऑल द ऑप्शंस वी हैव लॉस्ट सो यू नो नथिंग इज गोइंग टू हैपन आफ्टर नाउ फॉर 5 years and next is fear of presence of this entire material existence altogether. Husband sees the wife, he gets fearful, which is new wife, right? When you see your children you get fearful. New set of children is required. When children says parents, they are fearful. New set of parents are required. Right? So Devaki says that because of this fear, can you get out 10.3.27? Let me also see because यहाँ पे दो एक साथ नहीं खुलता है. Yeah, just get 10.3.27. Read the translation.
No one in this material world has No one in this material world has become free from the four principles, birth, death, old age, and disease, even by fleeing to various planets. But now that you have appeared, my Lord, death is fleeing in fear of you, and the living entities having obtained shelter at your lotus feet by your mercy are sleeping in full mental peace.
In Krishna book, Prabhupada gives much better translation. What Prabhupada says? He says all the conditioned souls are continually fleeing from one body to another. वो लगातार भाग रहे हैं. And one planet to another. ऐसा नहीं कि एक शरीर से दूसरे शरीर में, एक ग्रह से दूसरे ग्रह भी बेचारे भाग रहे हैं. उनको लगा अच्छा मर्त्य लोक में कुछ काम नहीं हो रहा है, स्वर्ग लोग जाके देखते हैं. उधर गए तो लीला दिख गया, वो लगा ब्रह्म लोक चले जाते, फिर वहां से नीचे गिर गए, इधर आ गए. कंटिन्यूअली, नॉट कोई रेस्ट नहीं है उसको. Yet they do not get free from the onslaught of birth and death. But when one of these fearful living entities comes under the shelter of your lotus feet, he can lie down without anxiety of being attacked by formidable death. अब जाकर के वो शांति से सोता है. डर की इन्वायरमेंट में कोई सो सकता है? Let's say you are sleeping in the night in Gokuldham, and suddenly somebody start knocking our gate. Now, for some of us, we might not get up, right? It's not that everybody will get up, but some of will get up, and then he goes and he sees there is nobody outside. He comes back, again he sleeps. Again there is a knocking. Now what will happen to you? Now this time you will not go out. You will not be going out and you will not be sleeping inside. Both. Somewhere you will try to find out if there is a hole, and from there if I can see. Right? Because there is a fear of unknown. Isn't it? So this fear of unknown does not allow anybody to become relaxed in his life. Right? And unless until that person tvad padabhyam prapya yadashrayada, jab tak somebody does not get shelter of the lotus feet of Sri Krishna, till that time he can never have peace in his life. Now, when will you get peace in the life? In this night things which I spoke to you? Only when either you see that yes, somebody was there and somebody has caught him, then you are relaxed. Correct? Or else for couples of hours, there's no knock. Then you are relaxed. Right? So when somebody takes shelter of Krishna's lotus feet, just by seeing this ashray, endeavor, the death personified himself runs away. He says, now this particular candidate is not my candidate. And that is what gives a person most peaceful situation in his life. So when somebody takes Krishna consciousness very, very seriously, then he becomes internally peaceful. Unless until Krishna consciousness is not taken very seriously, till that time we will have the sense of unknown fear. I remember, I think 4 years back, Amrish Maharaj had asked me this question. What is the process of becoming fearless? When we were staying in Tirupati. Here is the process. Here is the answer given by Devaki. That unless until you do not take shelter, complete ashray of that person from whom fear gets fearful, till that time we will not be fearless. Right? But how does it happen? How does somebody can take shelter? So in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Leela, very beautiful sloka comes. Sadhu Shastra Kripa Jadi Krishna Mukha Hoy Sei Jiv Nistare Maya Tahare Chhade. If the conditioned soul becomes Krishna conscious by the mercy of saintly person who voluntarily preach a scriptural injunction and help him to become Krishna conscious, the conditioned soul is liberated from the clutches of Maya who gives him up. It means how conditioned soul becomes liberated from Maya? माया ने छोड़ दिया उसको, है ना? आप माया नहीं छोड़ सकते, याद रखिए. थोड़ा टेक्निकल समझने की चेष्टा करें. You do not have power that you can give up Maya. The way unconditional mercy is required from Krishna, unconditional mercy is also required from Maya. One has to beg in the lotus feet of Maya, आर छेड़ दो, आर पाछी. होता है ना, जैसे बाहर में कभी गुंडों के चक्कर में फंस जाता है दूसरा गुंडा और बहुत पिटाई होती है उसकी, तो नाक काल मुंह सब लाल हो गया, कपड़े भी फट गए उसके, तब लास्ट में ऐसे बैठ देता, आर छेड़ दो. तब जाकर के दया खा करके गुंडे कैसे छोड़ते हैं उसको? छोड़ते छोड़ते दो चार लात मारते हैं, फिर एक घुसा भी दे देते हैं. राइट? ऐसा देखा आपने? छोड़ते ऐसा नहीं कि हाँ ठीक है जा, जाते जाते बैठा के फिर एक लात मार. वही है माया का तरीका. भक्ति में आएंगे, बहुत गिराएंगे तो माया छोड़ देगी, लेकिन जाते जाते फिर घूम करके एक बार लात मारती है. दैट इज व्हाट आफ्टर प्रैक्टिसिंग 20, 25, 30 ईयर ऑफ कृष्णा कॉन्शियसनेस, एक दो लात ऐसा लगता है बीच में, उसमें अगर टिक गए तो हॉस्पिटल पहुंच जाएंगे. हॉस्पिटल नहीं पहुंचेगा तो ठीक नहीं होगा. अगर उस समय टिक गए तो पहुंचेंगे. तो अल्टीमेटली किसको छोड़ना है? माया आपको परित्याग करनी चाहिए, लेकिन माया कब परित्याग करेगी? जब आप अपना एंडेवर माया को छोड़ने का दिखाएंगे तब परित्याग करेगी. और वो कैसे होगा? हाउ विल इट हैपन? हाउ विल इट हैपन? अभी लिखा ना इसमें, साधु शास्त्र कृपा ज्योति कृष्ण मुख हो. अगर साधु और शास्त्र इन दोनों की कृपा से किसी का अट्रैक्शन अगर भगवान के प्रति डेवलप हो जाए तब. और वही चीज यहां पर सूत गोस्वामी बता रहे हैं कि बिकॉज आई हर्ड विथ रैप्ड अटेंशन फ्रॉम सुखदेव गोस्वामी, देन बिकॉज ऑफ हिज मर्सी. तो सूत गोस्वामी इज अ वेरी स्पेशल पर्सन. कहां कहां से सीखा है उन्होंने? ही लर्न फ्रॉम व्यासदेव फर्स्ट. ही हैड अ स्पेशल मर्सी ऑफ व्यासदेव. ही हैड द स्पेशल मर्सी ऑफ Balaram. The Adi Guru blessed him. And then now he has a special mercy from सुखदेव गोस्वामी. तो तीन तीन जगहों से कृपा लेकर के वो इधर बैठे बोलने के लिए. और तब जाकर के वो क्या कहते हैं? यथाधीतम. पूरा समझ में नहीं आया. तो इतने सेल्फ रियलाइज पर्सन को भागवतम समझ में नहीं आया 3 जगह से सुनने के बाद. एंड वी आर सुपर सेल्फ रियलाइज सोल्स. सब कुछ हो गया. There's another one verse which speaks about value of human life. This will come in the 11th canto, 9th chapter, 29 verse. याद है? याद है आप लोगों को? वर्स नंबर याद नहीं था. जैसे ही जाओगे बोला अच्छा ये वाला वर्स. सोचो, वर्स में चले जाओ तो याद आ जाएगा, तुरंत आएगा. आपको याद है क्या? टाइम है ना? याद है ना? लब्ध्वा सुदुर्लभम इदम बहु संभवन्ते. What is the meaning of संभवन्ते there?
Words
After many words. And labdva, having obtained. Labh. Labdva is basically coming from the word labh. तो लब्धवा सुदुर्लभम. दुर्लभ मतलब बहुत कठिन. एंड सुदुर्लभ मतलब बहुत ज्यादा ही कठिन. कोई ऐसा एग्जाम्पल आपने प्रैक्टिकल लाइफ में दे सकते हैं जो बड़ा दुर्लभम होता है स्पिरिचुअल लाइफ से? उसके लिए बहुत ट्रायल करते हैं हम लोग. ओके, शुद्ध नाम हो गया तो ठीक है, बहुत ऊपर में चलेगा. प्रैक्टिकल ग्राउंड लेवल में प्रीचिंग भी ठीक है. देखो, गेटिंग महाप्रसाद इज दुर्लभ. सबके पास तो नहीं पहुंचता है महाप्रसाद, नहीं पहुंचता ना. उसके बाद गेटिंग महाप्रसादम डायरेक्टली फ्रॉम द प्लेट ऑफ द लॉर्ड. आपने सब डायलॉग सुना कि नहीं? एकदम भगवान के थाली से मिला अप्रोच. राइट? ये भी कहां पहुंचा? दुर्लभम से और ऊपर. लेकिन इससे भी ज्यादा ट्रायल कहां का करते हैं? अगर गुरु के प्लेट से कुछ महाप्रसाद, उसके लिए शिष्य कोने में छुप छुप करके देखते रहते हैं. जो सेवा करते हैं उनको पटाते रहते हैं एक्टो कुछ, क्योंकि भगवान के प्लेट का महाप्रसाद तो मिल ही जाएगा बाद में कभी. गुरु जी का प्रसाद मिलेगा कि नहीं? अगर गुरु जी बहुत स्ट्रिक्ट हैं तो हो सकता ना मिले. जैसे पास टाइम किसका है? नारद मुनि का. He wanted some महाप्रसादम from Krishna, but it took 6 months. बहुत सेवा करना पड़ा, तब लक्ष्मी के द्वारा थोड़ा सा लास्ट में दिया गया. तो पटा करके रखना बहुत आवश्यक है. तो सुदुर्लभम क्या हो गया? महा प्रसाद. उसी प्रकार से सुदुर्लभम इज दिस ह्यूमन फॉर्म ऑफ लाइफ. And this is the biggest illusion given by the Maya, a guarantee understanding of ourselves that we will be getting human form of life. Why somebody is lazy in their spiritual life in the human form? Because guarantee. Like, why do you mishandle your laptop and mobile? Because there's a guarantee. थोड़ा तकलीफ होगा, मिल जाएगा दूसरा वाला. Right or wrong? Right or wrong? With all these material assets, though this is also दुर्लभ. ये 20,000 25,000 का मोबाइल अगर गुम हो गया तो दूसरा लेने में खटना तो पड़ता है. लेकिन गारंटी है कि ठीक है, थोड़ा बहुत उल्टा सीधा चेहरा दिखा देंगे तो मिल जाएगा. इसलिए we are not very careful about these aspects. On the same very basis, why every individual is lazy in taking bhakti seriously is a confidence within that it's a guarantee that we will get the next birth as a And the second guarantee person thinks is 100% again I'll get bhakti. And the third guarantee, 100% I'll get pure devotional service. तो थोड़ा इधर बच भी गया तो उधर कर लेंगे जाके. And that is the reason we become little bit lazy. How many lives? संभवन्ते. जैसे कभी कभी लोकल ट्रेन अगर पकड़ना होता है तो इतना एंजाइटी रहता है, क्यों नहीं रहता? हर आधे घंटे के बाद लोकल ट्रेन आती है. डिस्टेंस वाला ट्रेन पकड़ना होता है तो एंजाइटी रहती है that I should be reaching on time. If I don't reach on time, then miss the train, then I will not get the next train. But the local train does not give that kind of anxiety. Because there is always a back option. ये छूटने पे ये पकड़ लेंगे. And destination is also less. इस माध्यम से तो उस माध्यम से चले जाएंगे. So getting birth is a next destination. So इसलिए anxiety is less. ठीक है, एक बार चूहा बन के देख लेते उसमें. बाकी उसका तो गारंटी मेरा है. जैसे डियर के बाद वो भरत महाराज आ गए थे जड़ भरत में, तो मेरा भी अगर हुआ कुछ नॉर्मल तरीके से तो एक दो जानवर बन के हम भी आ जाएंगे. ये सेकंड गारंटी है. लेवल है सब अलग अलग गारंटीज का. आ जाएंगे संभवन्ते. एक दो चार लाइफ चलेगा गाड़ी, पर ये दो चार लाइफ में कितने लाइफ जाएंगे किसी को कोई गारंटी नहीं. तो इसे लब्ध्वा सुदुर्लभम इदम बहु संभवन्ते. What is the next line? मानुष्यम अर्थदम अनित्यम अपीह धीरा. Read the translation.
After many births and deaths one achieves the rare human form of life.
ये कॉन्फिडेंस भी नहीं कि बहुत जीवन के बाद ये वाला जीवन मिला है. गारंटी है कि अगला जीवन ह्यूमन फॉर्म मिलेगा, और ये कॉन्फिडेंस नहीं है और या फिर कहीं क्लैरिटी नहीं है कि बहुत झेल करके ये मिला है. वैसे लोकल ट्रेन में चलते हैं. लोकल ट्रेन में अगर बीच स्टेशन में कभी आप उठते हैं तो सीट मिलने की गारंटी कितनी? प्राय नहीं. क्या तरीका अपनाते हैं? बहुत इंडेवर लगाते उधर. आंख चारों तरफ रखते हैं, किसका हिल रहा है शरीर, मतलब कौन उठने वाला है. और जैसे ही ऐसा थोड़ा सा गारंटी टाइप का दिखता है कि ये उठेगा, एकदम उसी सीट के पास जाके खड़े हो जाते. अब एक स्टेशन के बाद उठेगा कि दो के बाद उठेगा, नोबडी नोज. बट जैसे ही वो फट से उधर बैठे, क्योंकि आपको पता है अगर एक बार एक सेकंड का भी लेट हुआ तो दूसरा जो बैठा उठेगा नहीं. राइट? तो बड़ी मुश्किल से जब सीट मिलता है तो सीट का भी वैल्यू रहता है. राइट? तो यहां पे ये क्लैरिटी भी नहीं है कि बहुत झेल झाल करके पहुंचे, झोल झाल करके भी आए. और कॉन्फिडेंस है सुपर है. कॉन्फिडेंस क्या है? सुपर है. ओ मैं लो 950 हो गया, 10 मिनट और लेता हूं. कॉन्फिडेंस सुपर है कि अगला जन्म डिवोशनल ह्यूमन. डिवोटी है ना आप. वो तो नॉर्मल लोगों को वो कॉन्फिडेंस है कि अगला जन्म क्या मिलेगा? ह्यूमन. डिवोटी को उसके ऊपर का कॉन्फिडेंस है. भगवत गीता में बोला गया है थोड़ा भक्ति करते हुए फेल हो भी गया तो भगवान ने दिया प्रॉमिस, कहां कहां जन्म हो जाएगा. अमीर घर में जन्म होगा तो जॉब नहीं करना पड़ेगा. करेक्ट? या फिर उसका नेक्स्ट वाला श्लोक कि सुनवताम क्या है? सुचीनाम क्या? श्रीमताम. या तो शुचि मिलेगा या श्रीमान मिलेगा. दोनों में लगता है कि अगला जन्म ज्यादा कंफर्टेबल है भक्ति करने के लिए. एक बार में जॉब का टेंशन नहीं है और दूसरे बार में तो माहौल का ही टेंशन नहीं. बट यही पिछली बार भी सोच के आए थे, तभी ये वाला अपॉर्चुनिटी मिला. राइट? यही सोच करके प्रार्थना किया तो ये वाला अपॉर्चुनिटी मिला. ये सोच करके भक्ति पता नहीं कहां चले जाए. तो ये जो डर नहीं है, पता नहीं इस जीवन के बाद अगला जीवन कहां पहुंचेंगे, यही डर सबसे बड़ा डर है. ये डर का नहीं होना ये सबसे बड़ा डर है जो व्यक्ति को अटेंटिव नहीं होने देता है भक्ति. Bhakti becomes casual. What is the third line? Turnam. हाँ, इसका ट्रांसलेशन पढ़िए.
Thus, a sober human being should quickly endeavor for the ultimate perfection of
Which kind of human being?
sober.
Sober. Sober का मतलब क्या होता है?
Thoughtful.
What is the right meaning of sober? Is very sober person. Yes. Equal in happiness and bliss, little cultured, peaceful, है ना, ढंग का व्यक्ति. जब भी किसी को देखते हैं अच्छा व्यक्ति, उसको बोलते हैं बहुत सोबर पर्सन, राइट. सो भागवतन में बोल दिया कि भाई उस्ताद लोगों के लिए सब नहीं बोल, जो अपना दिमाग लगा लगा करके थोड़ा फिलॉसफी खुद से दे देते उनके लिए नहीं बोल. जो सोबर लोग हैं उनके लिए बता रहे हैं, गोबर वालों के लिए नहीं बता रहे. राइट. व्हाट अ सोबर पर्सन शुड डू? थोड़ा लाउडर बोलिए. क्विकली, अभी तुरंत. एंडेवर किस तरीके का? फॉर द अल्टीमेट परफेक्शन ऑफ लाइफ. ये द ट्रांसलेशन एंड्स. हाँ, एक लाइन और बाकी है, बोलिए. निरशेष्य विषय खलु सर्वथा स्यात्. क्या है बताइए?
Quickly endeavor for the ultimate perfection of life as long as his body, which is always subject to death, has not fallen down and died.
बस यही से शुरू किया था ना. We started from here only. That whatever endeavor we can do, whatever practice we can do as long as we are alive in this body. इतना तक का गारंटी लेकर के we can move ahead. We can't have a guarantee of the next life, and that is the reason why immediately, quickly one should endeavor. So here in the purport, Srila Prabhupada says, quickly will move the purport. One can certainly see directly the presence of Lord Shri Krishna in the pages of Bhagavatam, if one has heard it from a self-realized soul like Sukadeva Goswami. Right? It means anybody who is coming from parampara, in parampara, whoever it may be, we should be very attentive about hearing Srimad Bhagavatam from that person. Why? Because he will be speaking from Srimad Bhagavatam as given by Srila Prabhupada for us. One cannot, however, learn the Bhagavatam from a bogus, hired reciters whose aim of life is to earn some money out of such recitation and employ the earning in sex indulgence. It means you can't, we can't become learned in Bhagavatam by YouTube classes of different places. No one can learn Srimad Bhagavatam who is associated with person engaged in sex life. It means those who have got too much material consciousness, with that with the help of that person, we cannot learn or understand Srimad Bhagavatam. That is the secret of learning the Bhagavatam. भागवतम सीखने का ये क्या है? गूढ़ रहस्य है. और एक जगह श्री प्रभुपाद जी बोलेंगे देयर इज नो अल्टरनेटिव, इसी में बोलेंगे शायद. No, nor can one learn Bhagavatam from one who interprets the text by his mundane scholarship. Right? One has to learn the Bhagavatam from the representative of Sukadeva Goswami and no one else if one at all wants to see Lord Shri Krishna in the pages of Srimad Bhagavatam. This is the process. And there is no alternative. कोई दूसरा ऑप्शन नहीं है. Suta Goswami is a bona fide representative of Sukadeva Goswami because he wants to present the very same message which he received from the great learned Brahmana. So up till, if you see, two part is complete, complete in a sense. Srila Prabhupada has warned, इससे नहीं सीखना है. It is something called corrective message, right? Then Srila Prabhupada has given किससे सीखना है, that is suggestive method. And now here Srila Prabhupada in this 4 line बहुत क्लियरली बोल देते हैं कि प्रोसेस क्या है. सिंपल हियरिंग इज नॉट ऑल. किसी को अलग से करेक्ट होने की जरूरत नहीं है. कह रहे प्रभु जी आप बोलते हैं ऐसा. प्रभुपाद ने लिख दिया है कि अगर कोई भागवतम में कैजुअल बैठ रहा है जस्ट फॉर द सेंस ऑफ सिटिंग. आई थिंक यस्टरडे वी वर हियरिंग कि अटेंडेंस लगाने के लिए कहाँ पर सुना हमने, राधेश्याम प्रभुपाद में, और बस उसके लिए बैठ गए। तो ये प्रोसेस नहीं है, और ये कोई राधेश्याम प्रभु, दौजिकृपा दास या कोई और गुरु महाराज नहीं बोले, श्रील प्रभुपाद स्वयं से बोले दिस इज नॉट द प्रोसेस, एंड इसको अल्टरनेटिव भी नहीं है। वन मस्ट रियलाइज द टेक्स्ट विथ प्रॉपर अटेंशन। सो रियलाइज कब होगा, जब वो अटेंटिव है, वो खुद से समझने की चेष्टा कर रहा है, वर्ड्स क्या कह रहा है, किस सिचुएशन में आ रही है, मैसेज क्या निकल रही है यहाँ पे। The word Nivishta means that Sut Goswami drank the juice of the Bhagavatam through his ear. That is the real process of receiving the Bhagavatam. Here is the point. One should hear with rapt attention from the real person, and then he can at once realize the presence of Lord Savior. यहाँ पे देखिए इस जगह पे, no one can give rapt attention who is not pure in. So what is the root cause of our being inattentive? We are impure in our mind. किसी को बताने की जरूरत नहीं, किसी को ये बताने की जरूरत नहीं है that we are inattentive. Each of us, we are the teacher of our own book. असेस करना अपना काम. So inattentiveness का root cause क्या हो गया? Impurity, impure mind. Then he says, no one can be pure in mind who is not pure in action. So अब थियरी जो है वो प्रैक्टिकल पे आ गया, बताया क्या जा रहा है, भाई आपके एक्शन ही प्योर नहीं है, इसलिए आपका माइंड प्योर नहीं हो सकता. सो नाउ समबडी कैन से, अच्छा कौन सा एक्शन मेरा ठीक नहीं था वो बता देंगे, तो प्रभुपाद जी ने वो भी बता दिया. नो वन कैन बी प्योर इन एक्शन who is not pure in eating, sleeping, fearing and mating. युक्ताहार विहारस्य युक्त चेष्टसु कर्मसु. If we are not pure in this, it means we are not regulated in this, then our action will also be contaminated or irregular. When action is not proper, mind is not pure. When mind is not pure, there cannot be attention. But somehow or other, now hearing this four lines, somebody can become totally hopeless. इतना ट्रायल मारने के बाद भी ऐसा, तो प्रभुपाद कहते ठीक है, ये नहीं कि ऑप्शन चेंज करके नहीं दिया जा रहा है. With that, but somehow or other, if someone hears with rapt attention, तो अगर eating, sleeping, fearing और mating उस पर बस नहीं भी चल रहा है आपका, तो एक प्रोसेस बताया जा रहा है यहाँ पे क्या है कि कम से कम श्रीमद् भागवतम जो है वो अटेंटिवली सुनिए. और इस प्लेस में श्रीमद् भागवतम ट्रांसेंड कर देता है भगवद गीता को. भगवद गीता में क्या होती है, उधर एक कंडीशन आ जाती है, सर्वधर्मान परित्यज्य. कृष्णा से आई विल गिव यू मर्सी बट इफ यू सरेंडर कंप्लीटली. भागवतम कहता है ठीक है तेरे से कुछ नहीं होता, बैठ शांति से पहले, और बैठने के बाद ध्यान से सुन. इतना तो कर सकता है ना कम से कम. विथ रैप्ट अटेंशन प्लीज हियर. एट द वेरी बिगिनिंग वन कैन अश्योर्डली सी लॉर्ड श्री कृष्ण. एकदम शुरुआत में प्रभुपाद कहते हैं ये श्योर है दैट यू विल स्टार्ट सीइंग कृष्णा इन पर्सन in the pages of Srimad Bhagavatam, and this concludes the yesterday's verse. Yesterday's verse was, where has the dharma taken place? In Srimad Bhagavatam, right? And so dharma means basically Krishna. So where is Krishna now? In Srimad Bhagavatam. In which particular page? Every page. It's not that only somebody will move to the 10th canto, then he can see Krishna. Even in the second canto, Krishna. So whether it's a creation, whether it's a destruction, whether it's a maintenance, whether it's a leela, whether it's a reciprocation, whether it's an instruction, everywhere one can find Sri Krishna in the pages of Srimad Bhagavatam. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. But how will it happen? Sadhu Shastra Kripa Jadi कृष्ण मुख होय से जीव निस्तारे माया तहारे छाड़ा. And only Maya will leave that person if by mercy of scripture, and sadhu. Sadhu means Guru and Vaishnava both together. If somebody you can receive their mercy, same thing here in this purport or in this verse, Sutta Goswami and Srila Prabhupada is mentioned. Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, the Gaur Premanande.